I feel like I should read some more like unknown books, because that's normally where like all the really good books start out, is unknown. Because by the time I read these really amazing books, they've already created this gigantic fandom, and I'm just hopping on the bandwagon trying to avoid spoilers on social media. Anyways, guys, I'm back with another Top 5 Wednesday, and it's the first one in what feels like forever. I feel like I haven't done a Top 5 Wednesday in like, I don't even know how long, and I'm pretty sure it's only been like 2 weeks? 2 weeks? I think it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been months. It just feels like a really long time. Anyways, this week's topic is top 5 books you wish you would have read sooner. And these are kind of in order, not really. I mean, it's not like a set order. Whatever, yeah. So let's get on with this. Coming in at number 5, we have The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. I actually just finished it this Sunday. Thank you again to my friend Kelly for loaning me this book. I loved it. I wish I would have read this sooner because the movie came out, what was it, like a year or so ago? And I've said this in a lot of videos, I feel like, but I am in love with Jennifer Lawrence, and I will therefore watch any movie she is in. She's like my woman crush. Like, I'd turn gay for Jennifer Lawrence. Like, is that weird to say? Gonna move on anyways. So I watched the movie and fell in love with it. It was absolutely amazing and I loved it. And then I recently found out before school let out for the summer that it is a book, and my friend Kelly graciously let me borrow it to read it, and I finally read it. I finally read it, guys. Finally read it. It's been sitting in my room for months and I finally got around to reading it. I really loved it, and I wish I would have read this before I saw the movie, because even seeing the movie and how good the movie was, the book is still so much better. I just wish I would have read this before I saw the movie. I wish I would have known it was a book. Coming in at number 4, we have The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book is amazing. I love this book. And again, it's kind of the same thing with Silver Linings Playbook. The movie came out... When did it come out? Like last year or so? Whatever. Whenever the movie came out, I watched the movie, and I think I had heard somewhere that it was a book, but I had planned on reading the book first before I saw the movie, but stuff happened and somehow I ended up watching the movie, which I absolutely loved because Logan Lerman is so adorable. He's got a baby face. He's so cute. Anyway, so I watched the movie and I fell in love with it, and then I finally decided it was time for me to get around to reading the book, so I ordered it and I read it and I loved it, and it's so good, and I really just wish I would have read this before I saw the movie. I don't know why. I just always feel weird watching a movie and then reading the book. I don't know why. It's just how it works out. But yeah, but I really love the movie and I really love the book. Number 3, we have The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And this is kind of like how I was saying in the intro. It was one of the books that had already had a really big fan base by the time I got around to reading it. So I was just hopping on the bandwagon because my friends had been raving about this book and they were telling me how good it was, and I was hearing how good it was all over social media and especially Tumblr. And then so I decided I would pick it up because I also heard it was being turned into a movie, and I read it, and I wish I would have read it sooner because once it started getting really big, I saw a spoiler about the giant plot twist in this book, and so that kind of ruined it for me, but I still absolutely love the book, and the movie is so amazing. So I just wish I would have read this earlier because spoilers are not fun, guys. Coming in at number 2 is Divergent by Veronica Roth, and this is just like with The Fault in Our Stars. I read this once I had heard it was being... I hadn't even heard it was being turned into a movie. I kept seeing like GIFs and pictures on Tumblr, and people were like hashtagging Divergent or whatever and talking about it. I was like, what the hell is that? And so I was on vacation in Florida like 2 years ago, and we stopped at a bookstore and I decided to finally pick it up and read it. Absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So I just wish I would have read this more before it became such a big fandom base and everybody was reading it and everybody was always talking about it. although the fandom wasn't like extremely huge when I read this, like it was growing drastically, yes, but it wasn't as big as it is now that the movie has come out and more people are reading it and have watched the movie. So I just wish I would have read it when I was more smaller, like closer to when it first came out. Did I read this when it first came out? Anyways, yes, because the movie was in filming and blah 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 blah, so I just wish I would have gotten into it more, because when you join a fandom, but it's been around for a while and it's grown quite a bit, and then you know it's being turned into a movie or just got really good ratings and it's like everybody's raving about it, then it's kind of like the people who have been there from the very beginning of the fandom look down on you and they call you like, what did they call them? They called them pansy cakes, like once the movie came out and everybody was, I love Divergent. Well, have you read the books? Of course not, but you know, they're calling them pansy cakes, and all these people who read the book just because it was being turned into a movie and they were calling them pansy cakes, and that's really rude of us. We should not be doing that, guys. That's not okay. I mean, just because they jumped on the bandwagon doesn't make them not a true fan because they haven't been there from the beginning. And coming in at number 1 is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. If you do not know, this is the final book in the Divergent trilogy. Absolutely amazing, guys. Well, not really. This is my second favorite book out of the trilogy. My favorite one's Divergent. But anyways, and the reason I wish I would have read this sooner is because this came out and I read Divergent and then I automatically ordered Insurgent, and Insurgent sat on my shelf for like months. No, it sat on my shelf for like over a year. I just didn't have the motivation to pick up Insurgent and read it. I went through kind of a reading slump and I really didn't read a lot. No, I was reading The Mortal Instruments, that's what happened. And so I just didn't pick it up and it sat on my shelf forever, and then I finally got my friend to read Divergent, and so then I picked up Insurgent, and then I automatically bought Allegiant, and then read Allegiant, and I wish I would have read this earlier because I was a huge Tumblr addict. A couple months ago, I've kind of slowed down from Tumblr because I'm just kind of like weaning myself off of electronics because it's really bad. I had a really bad problem with that. But anyways, I was on Tumblr, and as I have now learned, and hopefully you will take this as a warning, or you have learned yourself, which is always horrible, I was scrolling through Tumblr and I was following some Divergent accounts, and they were posting spoilers for Allegiant. No, it wasn't Tumblr. That's my friend got spoiled. She got on Tumblr. I was on Instagram, and I follow a bunch of fandom Instagram accounts because I just like looking at all the edits, because some of them are actually really hilarious, and then there's other ones that just tear my heart apart because why do you want to make me feel that way again? I've already read the book. I don't need to go through it again watching scenes and stuff. But anyways, somebody had posted an Allegiant spoiler and it was absolutely horrible. I didn't actually realize I was spoiled for Allegiant until I picked up the series again and realized, oh shit. Well, I wish I would have read this sooner because then I wouldn't have been spoiled about it. I wish I would have just picked up Insurgent as soon as I read it and then got this and kept reading, and yeah. But yeah, that doesn't seem to happen in my favor. Alright, well that is it for this Top 5 Wednesday, and I don't know what's going on with this. My hair is just kind of like in its homeless stage. Actually, it's always in a homeless stage. But anyways, that's all I have for right now. I leave Saturday to go on my cruise. I'm super excited, guys. You don't understand. I leave Saturday to go down to the hotel, and then I officially leave Sunday and leave the United States for a week on a boat. I'm gonna die. Anyways, so yeah, look forward to that because I will be vlogging, and you'll get to see how much of a weirdo my sister and I am. That's always a fun time with the two of us. Anyways, why do I keep rambling? I will see you guys next time with a Top 5 Wednesday tag video or a book talk. Until then, I'm Chrissy. Goodbye. In a bit, and a lot of people knew about it. Hey, sexy lady. I'm filming. You can't do the open condom style while I'm filming. That's not okay. Close the door. Sisters, what are you gonna do with them?